The following podcast may contain spoilers, strong language, graphic violence, and nudity. Viewer discretion is advised. Wonga!
Wonga!
Four guys and a movie. Four guys and a movie. Donnie, Brian, Rob, and Joe reviewing movies for the show. Four guys and a movie.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Four Guys in a Movie podcast, the podcast where friends gather, watch movies from the past, and see how they hold up. We watched Men in Black, and I am your host today, Rob, joined by my friends.
Brian.
Agent W.
Agent T.
Agent J.
Why didn't you tell me we were doing that?
Come on, that's like,
How did you not see that coming?
Losers.
I planned it before Will got there.
Alright, so here's the deal. I'll be Agent R, Brian will be Agent B, but we'll do a dragon dance and form to become Agent Arby's,
Oh, yeah.
the fattest agent on the planet.
With nacho cheese. Cheddar cheese.
Full of cheddar cheese.
Fire roast beef everywhere.
Yeah, full of horsey sauce.
Four
Wait, that
people will
sounds
like you.
I've never had Arby's.
No, never?
Nah.
It's
All right,
okay.
podcast is on hold, everybody.
Pause it.
We're thinking Arby's.
How have you never had Arby's?
Never was one near me.
I mean,
Ever.
that's so weird.
Are we
where is
recording
there an
now or are we
Arby's
stopped?
There's not anywhere
Yeah.
There
anywhere
was one on
near
the Post
here now.
Road, right?
There were
Yeah.
like multiples, I thought, wasn't?
Well, there's one I know of.
There was that one in West Haven across from the old Circuit City.
I mean, I had it once. It was enough.
I mean, I've had it maybe four times.
It's one of
in
the
my whole
few
life.
fast food restaurants where you can actually make the main item at home. Like,
Yeah, it's just
here's a roast beef sandwich.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are you tired of having cold cuts at home? Come here where we warm them up
Yeah.
first.
you could microwave
Oh, yeah,
it for
hot
10
Coca-Cola.
seconds.
I mean, they had the curly fries. That was pretty cool.
The
Yeah,
fries were
potato
actually
wedges.
good.
Yeah.
I'll stand by their curly fries. I mean, Wendy's fries are better, so whatever. Wendy's everything
Yeah,
is better.
So, people out there, whoever's running the Four Guys wiki, that I'm sure doesn't exist.
Yeah, make
Is
sure
this
you.
the fastest we've gotten off track?
Either Rich or William, one of the two.
Yeah, when you get, whoever's writing the Four Guys wiki page, make sure you note that Brian has never been to Arby's,
Put that in his...
What else? I just want to know, is this the fastest we've gotten off
and it's
track?
Brian with an I, not a Y.
It just occurs to me, we haven't assigned Rich anything. In a
Rich,
while.
where you been, man?
Yeah,
Like,
dude is totally off the grid. Like
Here's William.
He's
What's
running
up,
out in the
William?
forest with a homo poncho somewhere.
Before this
hope people
episode's
get
over,
that.
No one gets that too. You sound awful because no one's going to get that.
It's all right. No one's listening. We're fine.
all right, Rich, that's your assignment. Go. I want a picture of you in the Rambo poncho.
People
In an
are listening.
Arby's.
We have patrons now. By the way, patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much.
We love
Thanks.
Indeed.
We do love you long time. As a matter of fact,
I'll say that for Joe.
somebody else should probably take over talking before I dig myself in a hole.
Tony, why don't you tell us about Men in Black?
Yeah, we watched Men in Black, Tony.
From this Men in Black from 1997, rated PG-13, directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, who of course brought us, no surprise from some of the cast here, but the Addams Family, Get Shorty, Wild Wild West, RV, and 9 Lives. It really just goes straight
He's
down
the,
a
he's the
cliff.
spider guy, right?
No, that's John Peters.
Yeah,
John P. Okay.
yeah. He did not write the movie, but
Oh, okay. Because like the main bad guy in this was kind of a giant.
he was a big bug.
He was trying. That's probably where he got the idea.
Yeah, maybe. That guy did like a first pass on that one.
But possible casting for Agent J, we almost had Chris O'Donnell and David Schwimmer.
Oh, my God.
What?
David Schwimmer.
I couldn't imagine either of those people in that role. Like,
I mean,
Chris O'Donnell may be David
Robin?
Schwimmer. No, oh well, yeah, I don't think it would be good, but I could see it
yeah, I mean,
happening.
I could also see it.
Yeah.
I don't think I could... Yeah, I can't imagine David Schwimmer in anything, really, besides Friends.
The difference between you and me is I make this look good.
You ever see him in Band of Brothers?
no, he's
No.
that.
David
Yeah,
Schwimmer?
yeah, he's like the drill sergeant that's like
Oh, now I remember. Yep.
destroying the team in the beginning. Like he's like,
Oh, he's not one of
he
the
is
puddles
just
that they have to run
asshole.
through?
Like he's like running people till they puke, and he's like, "Do not help that man."
Also,
he's super intense.
Schwimmer?
It's weird. Yeah, it is really
Does
weird
he
to
have
watch.
the monkey?
No, he does not.
All right.
Not that we see.
I'm fully
Also,
out.
would have gotten a lot more awkward when he's like, "Yeah, it's just raining black people in New York." It's just really weird. But of course, this movie is based on
But not wherever Friends is located.
that is true.
Clear skies around Central Perk.
No, there was that one time. I think that was the name of the episode, the one with the black guy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh man, he's not wrong.
That's why it's funny. Oh god. So this is of course based on a comic book of the same name, but the comic book is much darker, where they would have no qualms being like, "You saw a thing, we're gonna flashy you. If the flashy doesn't work, we'll shoot you in the head." They probably, like the beginning scene, they probably would have just set a couple of those cops on fire too. But,
Nice.
So, yeah, we get into some other weird parts of casting here, though. So, Will Smith was cast for the role. They asked him to be in it because Barry Sonnenfeld's wife was a big fan of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, of course.
Everybody
Why wouldn't
was.
you be? Will Smith only did it because Jada Pinkett Smith talked him into it. He wasn't really interested.
Were they even
They were-
dating at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I believe they were married at the time as well.
All right.
Well, this was one of his really like big breakup.
Yeah, this
roles,
was, like,
wasn't it?
huge
It was like
shit.
Independence Day.
This
and
on
this,
Independence
right?
Day.
Yeah, this solidified him as a big
Yeah.
star.
And then Wild Wild West brought it down a couple of
I learned this from a China
Linda
man.
Florentino apparently, quote unquote, won this role in a game of poker with Barry Sonnenfeld.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
So she just got ranked into this damn thing.
What else was she even in? I don't even.
Dogma.
She was in Dog's Foot.
That's right.
okay.
I believe she was in a movie called Jade.
I keep
Was it a Curious Mental?
I keep mixing.
No, that was a late night wash, if you know what I mean.
Wow, that's the next step up from a Curious Rental.
Well, Curious Rentals and keep your pants on, I guess. But
I guess
so-
it depends.
It does depend. But no, I always get her mixed up with the girl from News Radio. I can't
Oh
remember
yeah,
her
yeah.
Okay.
name, I can't remember. They look similar.
They do.
They do.
But also, Vincent D'Onofrio apparently watched a whole bunch of bug documentaries to get into character.
Of course he
for this
did.
Role, and even put like bracers on his feet and taped up his ankles.
Does he know that A Bug's Life is not a bug documentary?
He does now.
Watch Ants.
Yeah.
That's why Sly Stallone was an alien in this movie.
Oh, and I forgot to mention. Sorry, Tommy Lee Jones originally turned down the script because he just didn't like it. But Steven Spielberg got him to sign on, saying he's going to rewrite a lot of it.
I heard the person they wanted first was Clint Eastwood.
I did hear that as well, which I don't know if that's true, but that also would be an interesting one. Clint Eastwood and David Schwimmer running around together.
Yikes. Very different movie.
Wow.
Just, why not?
Well, Clint Eastwood wouldn't be running.
No.
Tommy Lee Jones didn't run it.
So does anyone want to guess at how much money this movie cost to make?
97.
Yes.
50,000.
Oh, fucking job.
I'm gonna say 90,000
90,000
million. 90 million.
90,000 million.
It's yeah. 90,000 million. That's I think how much Endgame is at right now.
90,000 million, I got 90,000 million, you're hear more.
I'm gonna say 55 million.
65.
Rob hit it right on the head.
With 90,000 million?
90,000 million.
Yes, 90,000. No, 90 million.
Oh.
I'm assuming that's actually what you were going for.
Yeah, that was.
Anyone want to guess how much money this movie made?
I'm gonna say
$200 million.
Not all of it, but like the step right below all of it. Like
I'm gonna say 275.
most of it.
250.
What was it?
200 million.
I'll go with 300.
It was $590
Wow.
million.
Wow, that is a lot of.
That's a payday right
That's how
there.
you get 3 sequels, my friend.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, Critters.
yeah, Critters,
Yeah.
Child's Play.
Literally every bad franchise ever.
3 in theater sequels.
Jaws. Well, Jaws made a shit ton of money in its first. So.
Yes.
What does Justice League count as?
Trash.
Garbage.
A mistake that we will never live down.
I do like the meme. It's this guy proposing to his girlfriend in front of another couple.
Yeah.
It's like Endgame was proposing and Marvel's proposing and Endgame, everyone's like, oh, fans. And the guy looking back is DC, looking like, fuck this guy. Like, fuck this guy.
So,
Can we talk about how sad this zebra dick is right now?
It's looking
Wow.
Was it in the bottom of
It looks like
diabetes?
it has an STD.
It's a little decrepit. I'm still gonna put it right in my mouth.
Was it underneath all the Easter candy
And
What's up?
I'm donating this
to the Patreon?
to Sharon, our highest tier patron.
Don't do that to her.
I'm sorry, Sharon.
You know, the worst part about it is like I think she's trying to catch up to our episodes, so it'll be a while before she hears this.
You may even get a visit from the gobbler.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We will find out when she's listened to this episode when that Patreon dries up.
When it's like, you now have -5 patrons. You're losing money on Patreon.
Somehow, even 3 of the people recording this have stopped supporting it.
That's why I left the pod.
Oh yeah, I gotta get one of those shirts for myself.
You now owe Patreon money.
So, who's in this movie officially? As if we hadn't already talked.
So
about
we
it.
got Tommy Lee Jones as Kay, some nobody named Will Smith as Jay, Linda Fiorentino as Laurel, Vincent D'Onofrio as Edgar, Rip Torn as Zed, and I don't understand why he has like a major credited role, but Tony Shalhoub as Jeeves.
What
In
does
there
he?
for 5 minutes.
I don't know. He has a good agent.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
his
He's in everything.
His whole character quirk is you can blow his head off and it grows back.
Yeah. Did y'all ever watch? Never mind. We can get into this later. Never mind.
What?
Well,
The Men in Black cartoon.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
just gonna
let's
say
watch that.
he got a significant role in the cartoon,
And I feel like his head was blown off at least once an episode.
Oh yes, that was like his defining characteristic.
Wasn't there like a whole thing in the sequel where they blow his head off a bunch
A
of times?
bunch of times, yeah.
Yes,
Just
keep those hits coming.
And then he's like solves a murder while being really awkward about things.
Well, to be fair, I'd be rather jittery too if you blew off my head like 57 times.
Is that the secret
Origin story, yeah.
yeah.
story of Monk?
Oh, it is Monk. That's right.
Yeah, it's working under Buffalo Bill the whole time.
Also, Antonio from the comedy Wings.
Yeah.
Well, yes, that too. And he was also in Taxi, right?
He's one of those guys that
he was in
can
Taxi.
play
No.
any
No, what's-
ethnicity.
I think he drove Taxi and Wings. Actually, you know what? That could be the story of Monk. Like, first he was working with Sandman, then he was working under Buffalo Bill. Tommy Lee Jones shows up every once in a while to blow his head off. Like, yeah, that would fuck you up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Puts the lotion on its skin, indeed.
The Men in Black franchise, did it ever really have much for video games? I don't really remember any of them.
There had to be one.
yeah, there
has to
were
have been.
video games, but I think they weren't bad enough to get noticed, and they weren't good enough to get noticed.
There's The Ride, which is basically a video game.
That ride is pretty cool.
It is.
I do like that ride.
Is that still there?
Yeah,
think
I went
so.
on it 4 times in the rain with a fast pass and watched the same sad family every time as we lapped them. Felt really bad, but
Wow.
Should have spent more money on your
so I wasn't
vacation.
going to go anywhere else, and that ride is super fun.
No, yeah, I don't blame you. But
Is it
best.
like a coaster? What is it?
No, it's
Yeah.
like you sit in a little chair, and
you're basically going through the training mission. Like, they have you in a chair with like laser guns, and they have targets that pop up, and you
Yeah, you
fire
get
at
to-
them, and the more you hit, the better your score
Yeah,
is.
you get,
Okay.
you get to shoot stuff. It's like the Toy Story one in
I don't think you didn't
in
go on that either.
Tomorrowland. Okay,
Buzz
Either
Light-
way,
And
Buzz
then you
Lightyear.
I
went-
think if he doesn't
but you
care.
went fairly recently.
It doesn't mean he went on
2
that.
summers ago? Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
4th of July, the busiest day of the year.
Yeah.
it
sounds
Okay, you didn't go on
terrifying.
any rides.
No, we did the few things she had fast passed, and then we went the fuck back.
You
to the
hung
room.
out in the smoking areas.
It was me and my nieces and nephews, and I'm trying to make sure no one died and stuff like that. It was-
Heat, no one died of heat stroke.
Not the smoking areas. They spend
my
half
God.
the time in that umbrella that just pours water on you.
How
Yeah,
much?
legit, it was so hot.
How much did you sweat?
It was. I changed the clothes like 3 times a day.
Oh my
It
gosh.
sucked.
That's crazy.
But it wasn't my trip. I was chaperoned for my niece and nephew. So
We'll bring you one of these times. We'll have a big nerd trip. We'll go on a. Hey,
With a lot
Florida.
of Patreon money.
Yeah, Florida. You want to sponsor a something?
sponsor or something.
You know
wait,
what? We'll
wait,
watch
wait.
your dumbass alligator movie if you want to have us down there for
What?
that Crawl. You seen that Crawl
Trailer for the
Trailer?
it's called Crawl. It's about like
okay,
this
we're still not talking about Men in Black.
It's okay.
pack of
a
wild
short movie.
alligators
It's a
during a
short-
hurricane.
Oh.
It's like
So is that like their answer to Sharknado?
Yeah, it's like
basically
Gator
Sharknado,
Cane.
Yeah.
No, I'll put it to you that Disney. I will give a positive review to
Disney's
Dumbo.
not listening. I'll let you know
I
right
know.
now.
I'll give a positive review to the new Dumbo movie if you give us a spot in the new Star Wars land.
They're
Yeah.
listening to see if they can sue us. That's all.
Yeah, well, that's it. And you know what they're not doing? They're not worried about our review of Dumbo.
Yeah, not at all.
I know. I'm trying.
They don't even. They're so far behind because they're still counting their billions of dollars from their Marvel movies.
All right, so can I mention just during the opening credits?
No, we're not talking about Men in Black.
All right, no, I'm talking about Brick.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Now that I've actually met Brick, these little stories are going to mean so much more to me.
Yeah, so he during the opening credits, the names are going across the screen, and he asks me, "Is Rip Torn actually a person?"
I mean,
Sounds about right.
that's a fair question,
yeah, I'm
and I'm
still
not sure how to answer.
Yeah.
I was like, "There's more depth to that question than you know, Brick."
Bro, why not just drink it from the bottle?
Because there's an ice cube and it makes it cold.
Okay.
I like cold water. Is that okay with
To the
you?
listeners at home,
Do you not see my dinosaurs had no beer glass?
Okay. All right.
It says dinosaurs on it, instantly making the water better.
Okay.
You see how there's little drips coming down?
The sad part is Men in Black's not that bad. Like, why can't we talk about this?
Well, I think it does bear merit to point out that he is spraying water from a Gatorade Edge bottle.
It's a
into
Gatorade Frost bottle.
Gatorade Frost bottle
Get it right.
through the sport cap, which he could easily take off.
Say easily.
And instead, he's just squirting it into this beer glass because it says the word dinosaur on it and has one ice cube in it.
Yeah.
I figure just everyone needs to know that that's happening right now.
Yeah. Let me sum this up for you real quick. We are flawed. All right, let's move on.
I mean,
All right. So, yeah, we start the movie off by following a bug around for longer than you ever wanted to.
Really?
Yeah, it's long.
Well, especially when it's not leading to Beetlejuice's grave.
No. And it's a clearly CGI bug. And it splats on the windshield of a truck full of illegal immigrants.
Nobody's illegal. They're just immigrants.
Okay.
that's right.
Driven by Rick the Dick, apparently.
That's his name. Rick the Dick.
A stranger
Well-
is just a friend you haven't met.
Rick the Dick was the name given by the cop, at least.
All right. So, yeah. They run into an INS roadblock and, they...
Building a wall.
Yeah, they get caught out. They're bringing everyone out of the truck, and Tommy Lee Jones shows up with some old fuck.
He was old as fuck.
He got out of that car like, kill me.
When you
this
make
movie's-
Tommy Lee Jones look young, you know you're old as hell.
It's this movie's Stan Lee cameo.
Tommy Lee Jones was bringing the D, yo.
Yeah.
Wow.
The wrinkly old D.
Well, Tommy Lee Jones is up there in age.
With tufts of white hair.
Like I said, Tommy Lee Jones
Continue,
is...
Joe. Ignore them. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. All right. So basically, they find amongst all the migrants that there is one guy that looks a little off.
Yeah.
They bring him away from the rest of the police, who they just pull rank on them, say they're from some special agency, and you see it's really just an alien holding a head on a stick. Because I guess Rick the Dick doesn't look at what gets on his truck at all.
Holding a
past
stick and wearing a fur coat.
yeah,
It was working.
Yes. I'm not sure how, but it was.
So I forgot that the CGI in this movie is not very good.
Here's the thing.
What?
Here's the crazy thing. When this movie came out,
Yeah.
there were shows and news things about how revolutionary the CG
Well,
in
it
this
was.
movie was.
It was.
And it was. And I'm honestly still on the fence about whether or not I think the CG holds up.
Why don't you just play the Jurassic Park card like you always do?
Because here's the thing is that
I'm gonna.
that's fine. I'm just saying, the CG, I think it doesn't hold up, but I think it's still good for the time it came out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
definitely.
acceptable for the time period, but
Definitely.
it's not. I remembered it being good.
I will say
Yeah,
this.
I also remember it being good,
I will
which is
say
part of
this,
why I
though.
didn't want to watch this movie today.
Again, where you go right, and I've talked about this several times, not all CG. They had some puppets. They
Yeah.
had some, practical shit.
yeah,
those
these are all falling apart. I don't understand.
They got the Thanos snap.
But, that's the problem. Even when you have the best CGI ever, you only got a good year or two before it starts to become outdated and shitty. Keep that in mind, Disney.
What are you talking? I watched.
Disney's gonna
don't
fucking
care.
murder us.
I watched.
The mouse will have me shot before I get
watched
home.
Infinity War last week. Thanos still looks bright as a new penny.
I'm referring more to the we can't have hand-drawn lines. We need CG lines.
Oh, I don't care.
I know they don't care.
All right. So,
Symbol looks real
long
as
story
fuck, though.
short,
It looks great for now.
this not so good CGI alien. They're like, yo,
Mikey.
you're under arrest. He's like, fuck you. Deploys all of his frills and eyes and craziness and
Yeah,
runs.
he just goes ape shit for no
Yeah.
reason.
Well, no, I think he was like going along with it. Then the cop,
the cops
showed
show up and he's
Yeah.
like, he's dead. He just runs at him. So, no, he pushes the old guy down.
Yeah.
Who just has,
breaks a hip.
yeah, he just crumples. And
I love how we don't get I don't know what the hell Kay's doing here because we just hear him going shoot him. Like, what the hell are you doing? Mm-hmm. He waits a good while to pull his gun.
He was carrying the whole scene.
so he blasts this thing into blue goop all over one of the cops.
It's like blue silly string everywhere.
Yeah. And my first note is aliens are apparently made of silly string.
And helium.
If I remember right, though, throughout most of the franchise, these guns just reduce you to blue goop. Like, that's not just, Mikey. Like, that happens to whoever they shoot.
Well, not
Goop,
necessarily
yeah.
blue goop, yeah, but they do just
They goop you.
But this
If
was
it's blood, it raises the rating. So
Yeah, it's a way to get around that.
that is definitely.
Well,
a
I'm
thing.
fine with it. I'm fine with it being goop, but this was weird, silly string specifically.
Yeah, I think at least for me, the thing is more the why aren't nobody has there's no chunks. Nobody gets shot through the chest. They just immediately explode. Everything just immediately explodes.
Tony, you give love a bad name.
wow.
So, basically, now you get to see their other iconic tool, the nebulizer, at work here. Or neuralizer, I'm sorry. The nebulizer. The guy needed the nebulizer after he got pushed over.
They also invented that.
Some bath salts.
So, yeah, the neuralizer, he flashes that in front of all the border patrol. And,
Oh,
yeah,
crispy
that's
num-nums
basically
to the rest
it. We cut to Will Smith, not Agent K. No, I'm sorry. Hold on, we did miss something. Because his partner's like, "Yo, I'm way too old. I can't do this anymore."
you got to old yeller me.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones is like, "Good."
Bang! Credits.
Which
Yeah,
No Country for Old Men too.
quick note though, because this starts a whole chain of this. They do the little flash on the cops, and they're going on something about a sewage main or something. Mm-hmm. And they have a team come in that they immediately show up and start setting fire to half this. I don't want to
Brush.
sure. But why don't you just do all that, wait till they're done, and then flash them and just be gone? And by the time they're come to, be like, we weren't here. Isn't that the point?
Mm-hmm.
Those reasons why. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
All right.
sure.
I didn't write it.
Fair enough.
So basically now, Tommy Lee Jones, he's looking for a new partner, and when he flashes I keep wanting to say neuralizer in his partner's face, it cuts to Will Smith.
Spraying his asthma inhaler in everyone's face.
And Will Smith, who is just chasing some weird man who's really good at parkour.
Yep.
Yeah, Will Smith is dressed like Goku, just running around New York.
Like Goku from the Dragon Ball movie.
Oh my god.
That's like Voldemort.
I saw half of that movie.
No,
I've seen it twice.
Yeah.
I mean, no, someone will have to pay money to get me to see that.
Yeah, that sounds like a challenge to me.
Yeah. That's the only way it's happening.
How deep are your pockets, listeners?
Hashtag 4am challenge. Or DBZ challenge.
No.
All right. So long story short, this guy is just doing all these things that a person can't do. He's flipping over walls. I think he just runs up a building at one point. He's jumping off crazy heights. But Will Smith's pretty resourceful and keeps finding ways to chase after him.
He sure does.
This guy does make a kind of dumb move of running up a building that's not near anything else, so you can't Batman onto another building.
But first he pulls a gun on him.
Oh yeah, which immediately evaporates.
Sure.
What kind of technology is that?
I don't know.
I like how the budget for this, as big as it was, they weren't let's just show it melt it was legit a magic trick where like, that's wife,
Yeah.
it's gone.
Just like a hard cut to it.
Yeah, you can see the frame cutting.
Well, I
like-
guess whatever's in that little glass like bulb at the bottom of it, like there's like a liquid in there or
Like a
something.
sack,
Yeah, I guess if
hanging
you
on
break
the
that, it just all hell breaks loose.
But it
and the
literally
weapon
just
destroys
it
itself.
hits the ground. Then there's like a little poorly done flame over it, and
Yeah.
they just faded it out. It's just gone. Yeah,
Aliens.
It doesn't evaporate. It doesn't
Yeah.
burn. It doesn't
It
melt.
really-
It just fades away.
It gets like a video game death of this era.
yes.
Yeah.
Like it's like a UFO in a B-50s movie,
Yeah.
like explosion, like.
Will Smith got 100 points.
Yeah. So basically, like he catches the guy at the top of the building. The guy has these weird eyes that do this crazy blinking in a way that they're not supposed to. Well, I'm sorry, the pupils blink when
Yeah.
they're not supposed to, and
He
then
seems to have two different sets of pupils, and one of them
Yeah.
goes sideways.
and he's like, I'm just jumping off the building. Yep.
And he gives a warning. He's like, the world's gonna end, and like he's gonna kill everybody. We're dead anyway. They're gonna kill me, so fuck it, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy because it was like one bug.
That bug's a serious bug, though.
Fucked up
It's
some
writing of Vincent D'Onofrio,
That's true.
which we get to see right now.
Yeah. Let's talk about Edgar.
Yeah.
So like remember South Park had the Alabama man skit?
Mm-hmm.
Like that guy is this guy.
Yeah.
He's Alabama man. Where's
he-
my dinner, bitch?
He is in the
guy.
middle of.
He's
of-
that guy.
They took her
He's
jabs.
yelling at his wife about how shitty dinner is. He's like, "Don't take that. I'm not done with it." Yeah, he's talking about how much he loves his truck more than he loves her, and then the truck is hit by a falling UFO.
And props to this lady because she does a magnificent job in this movie.
Mhm.
I forgot her name.
The
but-
actress.
Yeah.
Like Siobhan something or other, I think.
But yeah, she is just pitch perfect in this role. Well done.
So yeah, Vince D'Onofrio goes walking out there, or Edgar goes walking out there with his shotgun to go investigate, and he gets snatch grabbed by some sort of
Yeah, something.
massive arm.
And you don't feel bad for him.
No.
No.
You don't. Not good.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
And now, if you want Brick to laugh, just show him clips of the Edgar suit.
Okay.
It's like every minute this man is on screen, Brick is laughing. Just, the faces he makes, the way he moves, it's comedic gold for Brick.
Has he ever watched a zombie movie?
Yeah,
'Cause-
I don't
Or a movie?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of difference here.
know. It's funny. Like I gotta say, Vincent D'Onofrio does some
No.
good physical comedy.
I mean, he
with
does.
This guy.
Vincent
yeah.
D'Onofrio does a
Yeah.
great job. Yeah.
Is that what Brick pictures for his character in your game?
Pretty much, probably.
That's what I
Okay,
picture
yeah.
for his character.
Is Brick actually just a cockroach wearing a people suit?
Sometimes. Yeah, legitimately sometimes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just the diet alone is pretty much like
Garbage.
Yeah.
So on the Vincent D'Onofrio scale of crazy, where do we put Edgar? Because
That's pretty low, actually.
yeah, because I mean, yeah, it's no Private Pile. I mean, it's less restrained than the Kingpin. It's definitely nowhere near the guy from The Cell.
Yeah, he has a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he has a lot of crazy people.
Yeah.
He's like,
That's like his thing.
Yeah, but
he's
like,
in one of the Law and Orders. He's like a detective,
yeah.
and he walks in. He's
I
like,
loved him that.
"There was a gun in here." Just like smells the air, you know.
I mean,
problem is-
that's how we are with food. So
Yeah.
you know.
There was a burrito.
The problem
in
is,
here.
I don't feel like there's a proper scale for those. They're just
In the out there in the ether.
yeah. Well, it's like points on a star. Like they're
Yeah.
just so far away from each other. I don't.
All right, so this is one of his more restrained performances, though.
Yes.
And mind you, he's playing a bug riding inside a man.
Yeah.
So yeah, he goes inside.
Some sugar water.
Yeah, he gets his fat chat on. He's like, pour all that sugar in the water,
Which like he could have just had a soda.
downs all that shit. Yeah, bugs don't know what soda is. There should have been a scene where he discovers it, though.
Right.
Yeah.
That would have been funny, yeah.
Just like a whole gallon of Mountain Dew.
yeah, if he like coneheads that shit where he does like the whole 6-pack at once or something like that.
He's
Oh
like,
my
y'all just drink this stuff? You'll die?
Oh my God, Surge! Really?
This is too much sugar for me.
All right, so yeah, Edgar's wife just sees that. I think her name was Beatrice.
Yeah.
Yeah, sees that and just passes out.
No, it's Beatrice.
Well, that's
All right,
yeah.
maybe
That's
not.
more because she's like
That's what
your
Edgar
skin's falling off your bones.
Oh, that's
So
right,
he
yeah.
just pulls his face back in this weird,
He like
gross
beetle
manner.
juices her.
Yeah. She's like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah.
Passes out.
All right, so now we go back to Will Smith, who is getting grilled by like some other police officers who don't believe him.
Which is fair.
Yeah, he gives
Oh, yeah.
some good Will Smith sass though to that cop, to the overweight cop.
Yeah.
You know, and then Agent K just walks in and just owns the place, unplugs cameras.
First, what is she? Not a funeral attendant.
Oh,
Coroner.
the coroner. Yeah.
She just walks in and just like, I totally believe you. Like, what?
Well, no,
This is an interrogation. Close the damn door.
It's literally she's just like, I'm going to be a character in this movie. Here
Yeah.
I am. I'm going to go away for a little while. See you later.
I mean, it's not actually an interrogation. They're just trying to get a
Yeah.
report from a police officer. So it's not-
Who has given a somewhat suspect report.
Well, that's the thing. It's at least questionable because, like, I don't know quite what the deal is here, but like, yeah, they're talking to him because this guy died on his watch.
sure.
You could at least close the door.
Well, I mean,
Just saying.
She can open the door and go in there and be like, I believe you.
Yeah.
So,
Well, she shouldn't be able to just wander into the police department. And
she
open
works
the
there.
door.
Why not?
All right. So basically, Kay's like, yo, that gun that dude pulled out, would you be able to recognize that if you saw it again? He's like, yep. So he's like, all right, let's get out of here.
My favorite part of the scene is where Kay's like, what did he say? He's like, he said, the world's going to end. And he just pauses. Did he say when? Like straight stone face.
Yeah, and then he's like, yo, I got a lot of paperwork to fill out. And Kay's like, no, you don't. And like his boss comes, he's like, great work with the paperwork. So yeah, now we meet Jeeves, who I don't know why this was such a big thing, but he's just a weird looking guy that
reasons. I
Yeah,
don't know.
90s. That was funny enough.
Yeah, it was I mean, Wings was popular, I guess.
No, I'm chalking this more up to like this is around the era of like Batman and Robin and shit, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe a little later, but like
98, I
the
think.
point is
No, 97.
we're hard up for some bad movies
Yeah.
or for some good movies. So like this was funny at the time.
Yeah.
This was like a
Compared
high
to all
point.
the other stuff that was
Yeah,
out
compared
there,
to the schlock that we were being given.
Jingle all the way.
thinking so hard, it's okay.
So I like that Tommy Lee Jones always humors Will Smith here, where Will Smith's like, let me go in first, let me do the talking. You obviously don't know what you're doing. I got this. And Tommy Lee Jones, who knows that Will Smith doesn't know what he's doing, is like, yeah, that's fine. Go in there.
Yeah, you do your thing.
Yeah. So he gets a few minutes talking to him about some stolen watches. And then Tommy Lee Jones basically just walks in there, gives him a quick ultimatum and blows his head off.
Yeah.
And
Will Smith, he pulls his gun on Tommy Lee Jones, like on Kay real fast.
He's like, what the fuck?
He's like, what are you
doing?
doing? Like, put the gun down, I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like,
Kay don't give a
Jesus'
fuck.
head starts growing back. And he's like, what the fuck? Half this movie is Will Smith just making faces.
Yep.
At
Yeah,
nothing.
but
Yeah,
I have something to say about that in a few minutes.
Well, he's discovering a whole goddamn new world,
Yep.
and it's honestly he handles it surprisingly well.
Again, I'm gonna have something to say about
Yeah,
that
okay.
in a few minutes.
Well, yeah,
Okay, all right.
All right.
all right. But yeah, so this guy's head grows back. Jeeb's head grows back. Sorry. And he's like, Jeebs, show us the weapons. I know you have them. Where are they? So he pushes a button, and we get the whole James Bondy. Everything switches over, and there's a bunch of guns hidden behind walls and whatever. And he's like, "Yeah, it's that gun over there."
Which is just a scalp massager with a nutsack attached to it. I don't know.
It's pretty accurate.
And he's
yeah.
like a blah, blah, blah. You gave him that? And
Wait,
that's an assassination weapon.
so it gives your scalp a massage and teabags you at the same time?
Yeah.
That's the
And
deal.
then it combusts.
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah. And then it
Never mind.
bursts into flames on your head.
Yeah,
never mind.
yeah, it just busts all over the back of your head.
Okay.
And then disappears afterwards.
Yeah,
All right.
It's a one hit kind of thing.
no child support, nothing, not even a phone call.
Doesn't even give you
Anyway.
cab fare.
Nope.
Anyway, yeah. Will Smith is kind of trying to take it all in. Tommy Lee Jones is like, yeah, things are crazy. I'm gonna make it all okay for you. Don't worry about it. Just look over here at this thing, and we get another flash.
But then he's like, I don't have anything else to do tonight. I'm just going to hang out with this guy that I just neuralized.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
I guess just sit here at the table for however
Tommy
long.
Lee Jones is very lonely.
That's true.
That is very
Yeah.
Good point.
And he likes this guy. He's like, this guy's, he is a good cop. He knows nothing about what's going on, but he's a good cop and seems to be a good guy.
And who knows what happened in between?
Whoa. Curious rental.
Furious.
All right, so he basically gives him the MIB business card, tells him to show up. Was it the Battery Park Port Authority?
Yeah.
Yep.
After finishing a bad joke.
Meanwhile, you see there's an exterminator killing a whole bunch of roaches on Edgar's farm, who Edgar does not take too kindly to that.
Yeah. Who did we say?
John C. Reilly.
Oh, the very sick John C. Reilly.
Well, yeah, I was saying it was John C. Reilly and John Goodman from Arachnophobia just kind of melded into one guy.
Yeah, they were just kind of mushed.
But yeah, he gets murdered because he's killing the roaches.
So yeah, that's the big quirk for this bug here. He doesn't like it when you kill bugs,
So
when you're David Cross.
Yeah. Are
Well,
all roaches?
to be fair.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Not saying he's wrong. So yeah, he shoves like that the gun that would spray the pesticides around right down this guy's throat, and squeezes the trigger.
I remember as a kid that really freaked me out. I don't know why.
No, it's kind of awful.
That's a long ass thing. He just shoved
Yeah.
down a dude's throat. It's like,
And that guy is all kinds of dead. So yeah.
he's super dead.
But he takes his van and he rolls his spaceship into it.
Yep.
Somehow just crams that in there.
Like
He's
somehow
ready to go.
he's crammed himself into Edgar. So he of course crammed himself into a
He's really good
spaceship.
at like Tetris.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we actually finally see him later, he really shouldn't have fit in that spaceship
all.
either. Like,
No, well he stopped around Cybertron, where you get that technology where mass
shifting.
and volume doesn't really matter as much anymore.
See, it would have made sense if it was like if he landed in like a pupa stage and then gestated inside the Edgar suit.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And,
like if Cell, he can revert to a larval form
Right, or something, something.
and then eat some
along that
people
line,
and grow back to his adult form.
but he just smushes real good.
Dragon Ball Z had just come out then, so
Yeah,
they
it's
were-
true. People didn't know about Cell.
But aliens, how do they work? I don't know.
Yeah.
So he manages.
It works out.
So now we get the tryout scene where Will Smith, who's Detective Edwards at this point, shows up at Men in Black headquarters to try out to join the team with all these other military guys. And I like this first scene with the test.
Mm-hmm.
The
Do you think
paper
it?
test?
I mean, I guess it's obvious, but it's like the test is not the test. The test is to see how they deal with this like shitty scenario of like
definitely,
Yeah.
thin paper, shitty pencils, nowhere to write,
Mhm.
and Will Smith is the only one that really improvises.
Yeah, they have one table in the center of the room. He just grabs and drags over to him. You ever sat in one of those chairs they were sitting in?
No.
Those chairs are weird. I've sat in one once. They do crazy things to the sound in the room.
I believe it.
Yeah, so you can't hear things going on around you, and it's like a radar dish focusing what's in front of you to make it really loud. But anyway, yeah, so he figures out to get the table to write on, and then they're like, all right, let's just give him guns, put him on the firing range.
Yeah,
Test
literally,
two.
a wall opens up. They start strobe lights, and everybody just runs, grabs a gun, starts firing. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Laser tag.
Yeah, we don't know if they give him a pre talk beforehand or
No.
what. Like,
No,
we're
they're
just
just
start
shooting
shooting,
stuff.
Shoot
and they
monsters.
just start firing.
Yep.
You see like this different pictures of monsters like go across the screen or whatever. And but Edwards, the Will Smith's character, is just not shooting. He's just surveying the scene, and then finally he pulls his gun up and shoots. And it's like and then Zed's like, "Hey Edwards, you want to tell me what the hell you were shooting at? Like what? Explain this shot to me." And it's,
Why you shot Sally in the head, I believe.
and it's like an 8-year-old girl holding some books. And his explanations are pretty funny.
It's like she was out in the middle of the night in this, ghetto ass neighborhood with these,
Monsters running around.
and like crazy science books.
Well,
She's
I mean,
up to
this
no
guy
good.
was just working out.
Like-
if I was at the gym and someone shot me, I'd be upset.
I'm just like, what if she was lost on the way home from school?
Why were they shooting any of them?
Right.
Yeah, like, there was no.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's, we get the kind of he was right to shoot the girl because his thinking outside the box is the way to
She
go.
had science books.
Kinda, but he's thinking outside the box is the idea.
Yeah, no, I
More
get
like,
it.
more like they might look like monsters, but they might be okay. You
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
until you possess
But again, we don't see any sign of anyone being told any of this shit.
Yeah.
So maybe the other guys were just shooting at things that moved. They all have snarling, angry-looking faces. It's like I don't know, but okay.
Just because they look different don't mean they're bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, people.
All right, so basically, Tommy Lee Jones here and Agent Zed, they're like, yo, this guy's, he's unconventional, but I think he'll work.
Mm-hmm.
So they neuralize all the other candidates. They say that's the eye test. And then, Tommy Lee Jones goes over to talk to Will Smith here and tells him, he wants him to join the Men in Black, this, extraterrestrial police force.
And here's where I have what I feel is a legitimate beef with this
Yeah.
movie.
Okay.
I think
Because
we have
Will
the same.
Smith is like, this is all bullshit.
Mhm.
Aliens don't exist. And I'm like, you saw this dude blink his weird eyes.
I believe he's already been neuralized to forget that, though.
Yeah, they got him
From
on
the
that
dinner.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't know how much he wiped, so that could be.
Fine.
Sorry to squash your beef.
Yeah.
You win.
I could have
But-
used if this went down a little more like what's his name? Not Trigger. What's his name? Time Bomb in Modern Vampires, where they're like, you're telling me you don't believe in the supernatural, but you're willing to drive a wooden stake through a man's chest? It's like, yo, I really need this job.
You better start believing in ghost stories.
Oh,
You gotta read it.
So, Agent K is like, oh, yeah, I get it. You don't believe in aliens and shit. That's cool. I'm just going to grab a coffee. And opens the door, and there's the worms. Which, a couple things about this movie.
Oh, is this your grievance?
Well, just...
Was it not matching mine at all? Because that makes a lot of sense, actually.
No, I did think of that one, but I did also think of the neuralizer
You
thing.
just have a problem with them having
Well-
characters that you don't agree with.
No, it's that I blame this for the start of like the Minions and all that kind of shit. I think this was like the genesis of that.
You think so? You don't think it was
I
like
do.
Gremlins or
Ewoks?
or any
what's the name from He-Man?
Orko? I don't know about that.
Well,
but-
no, that was a different thing. That was a singular guy, but like the kind of weird little crittery.
Again, Ewoks, Gremlins.
Yeah, those didn't have the same.
They had a cartoon
They had a
just
cartoon.
for them.
Yeah, but
We are
it,
the
it was not quite the
Ewoks.
same.
Oh, sad I missed that.
Oh,
You
yeah.
never seen the Ewoks cartoon?
Mom.
And Caravan of Courage.
Well, I've seen, they had the show for the Ewoks too, right?
Yep.
Where they had like those dead eyes.
Yeah.
with,
Like a doll's eyes.
Yeah. They just had a perpetual 1,000-yard stare. And looked weird as hell.
Like most of my coworkers. But yes.
You know how dumb I am? I didn't realize for years that I was like, how come they all have names of letters and Zed's called Zed? I didn't know for years like that in other countries Z is just Zed. It's the same Z, and I'm dumb. So
Thanks, Canada.
I always wondered if Winston from the Ghostbusters was actually just Winston Zeemore.
That is so much dumber.
he was trying to save me from being the dumbest one here.
But Care Bears, get along.
There are other, like, Care Bears was another cute thing, but this was like one of those, this was made to be a small character with like a one line or whatever that became a thing to the point where it had its own movie.
Yeah, Ewoks.
Did the worms get their own thing?
They didn't get their own movie, but like
they didn't.
they were major characters in the cartoon, and then they like carried
that's
on
true.
to all the movies.
They were
They weren't in the last
cute,
one.
cute side
They
characters.
weren't in the third one.
Yeah.
They weren't?
No,
Pretty sure they were.
They left them out.
No, they were in there.
Are you
They
sure?
left Frank out.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, they left Frank out. All right, they left Frank
Yeah,
out. They left
they
someone
would
out.
just do
Right.
that
Huge portrait.
Biggie Smalls portrait.
That's right. That's right.
I forgot about that.
But anyway,
He
Like
got
from
shook
the-
too much.
All right. So he's basically
He demanded too big a paycheck. They cut
Like-
him out of the script.
Will Smith is like, okay, I believe you now. They go outside, they sit on a bench, and he's like, here's the deal. You can join us, but you're going to lose your whole identity. and he can't associate with the outside world. It's forbidden. And Will Smith's like, all right, let me sit on this bench for the whole day.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, then I'll decide tomorrow. Which is basically what happens. And he's like, all right, let's do this.
I conveniently have no friends, family, or anything else, so sure, why not?
You think Forrest Gump was contemplating the same offer? That's why he used it. Spent the whole movie on the bench.
That's it exactly.
They didn't even have to neuralize Forrest Gump.
No, well, that's the problem. They neuralized
He was neuralized
him
from
a bunch of times.
Yeah, he's actually just sitting
Are
on
there
that
Doritos
bench.
anywhere?
No, he's sitting on that bench from
Give him some
before
Kit
he
Kats.
worked for the MIB. He's just like, that's all he can remember now.
Oh, that's Agent F.
They implanted all
neuralized
these
him
false
stupid.
memories in his head.
Yeah. Like, I know.
Yeah, you met JFK. Boing!
Yeah, you got shot in the butt in Vietnam.
Boing!
So
You own a chain of
Shrimp boats.
mid-tier shrimp restaurants. Bing!
I like your neuralizer sound effect is boing.
You know, that's how I understand electronics.
All right.
Go boing.
Whenever he starts recording the episode, boing.
Boing.
All right, so Will Smith's in.
Yeah.
He comes back to Battery Park. Goes back into the elevator, and now he's like, "Look, I knew you chose me because I'm the shit. So recognize that I'm the shit, and like, you know, don't call me Sport or Kid or Ace or kind of shitty ass names." And K's like, "All right, Slick."
Whatever you say, Slick.
Great move on his part. He does that character well. But it's his first day at work, and he's going in like he's, auditioning for In Living Color or something. Like, dude, fucking put on a collared shirt or some shit.
It was the 90s.
Yeah.
He's wearing a full F1 Formula Racing uniform. He's great.
They recruited him wearing what he was wearing then,
That's
so
fair.
it doesn't fucking
That's
matter.
fair.
Yeah, so then, Tommy Jones is like, just recognize right now your skills mean precisely dick.
And they say that.
Yeah.
He says that.
It's a quote.
And door opens and you see the whole spaceport kind of custom setup that they have.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of cool puppets and stuff going on here along with the CGI. This is just a cool scene. I don't like the end of it though, where they take him around, show him all this stuff going on. That part's all cool, and then they go into this room full of inventions.
Oh, the wacky misadventures?
Yeah, and then there's this random bouncy ball attack.
Yeah.
Did anyone find that fun? It's just
Children, probably.
I thought it was funny when it came out.
yeah. That one dude that got hit in the head was kind of cool, but
Yeah.
cranium trauma. That's
Yeah.
comedic gold.
That probably got a better laugh out of me the first time I saw this.
They don't have health insurance, just neuralize
But
it.
it's just we got to add 1 minute.
Realize
onto
him
this
throw him in
movie.
the river.
I don't know, gratuitous bouncy ball scene.
The scene does last a little bit longer than it should.
Yeah,
For sure.
All right, but Detective Edwards is now suiting up, and his identity is being erased, and he's being turned into Agent
Detective
J.
Pikachu. Oh, sorry.
And it
What's that?
apparently takes ages for them to delete his name.
They can't highlight it all and just press delete.
Well, the problem was, originally he typed Skull Island.
Now. This was a 90s movie working off of what they thought high tech stuff would look like in the mid 90s.
No, this was we did it for dramatic effect, but it made it seem more like Tommy Lee Jones was, henpecking.
Yeah, they
the
just-
number.
He's just inept on a keyboard.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
They did it so when he was done with his speech, it would just be the J left over.
Yes.
All right, so
Sorry, I had a mouthful of chocolate.
It
you don't
happens.
need to
All
apologize.
right,
for
while
that.
we're at, can you do something with that fucking zebra dick? Because that is horrible.
I can do something with it.
Please put it somewhere else.
Turn around.
You asked.
You asked, and he's going to deliver. Over here. On your left.
All right. So, what even happens now? Oh, this is when we learn that there's a man with a cat that the Edgar suit is after, but we don't know why.
Yeah, we get a scene with
Because if Alpha's taught us anything, aliens love eating
cats.
cats.
well, but this is where we established that we go to a restaurant and we see the two aliens talking, and Edgar walks in. Edgar kills a guy. And brings them their food, and these aliens talking in a different language with subtitles about hiding something and like don't worry about it, we're safe here, all that kind of bullshit.
All right. There's a bunch of questions.
Yep.
Yeah.
A bunch.
My main one is, where do I get some of those pierogies?
Well, my question is, has Alf ever actually been in any of the Men in Black movies?
I believe he has actually. I could be wrong, but I think I think in the second one they have another shot of like all the screens, and they might have an Alf in there.
Is his name Gordon Shumway, as it should be?
I don't know that he is named at all.
All right.
Okay,
You
so
were saying.
lunchtime. Yeah, these guys are talking in obvious foreign dialect. That sign on the door, I don't think was in any language. That like it's just this long string of consonants, and I thought, okay, well maybe it's backwards, but then I'm like looking at the word backwards, like it's just this weird like pile of M's and X's.
There's
and,
a sign on the door.
like the neon sign.
Could it have been Greek?
Could maybe.
Okay.
All right.
Or maybe they're all aliens, and this is some
Yeah.
kind of hidden thing.
It could be like just an alien bar.
Like in Blade, where they
Yeah.
have the symbols that let you know if it's okay for vampires to come in.
They're really
Blue
excited.
silly string starts falling from the ceiling.
They're really excited about pierogies, as they should be, because I mean that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it, as we find out later, it's just this one tiny little guy piloting a man suit. Does the pierogi get like sent up in there?
Ooh,
we don't-
that is a good
Like,
question.
does he
Somehow,
eat all the pierogies?
That's a good question.
Because one pierogi is like the size of his head.
Does the machine run on pierogies?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
machine might
the machine-
run on pierogies.
It's
Yeah.
all right. Let me
He's
explain
real
something
excited
to you.
about those pierogies.
Yeah, he's
Joseph.
He's
all right?
into it.
It's a ravioli filled with mashed potatoes.
No, I mean it's good stuff. It is very good
you
stuff.
give me one the size
Yeah.
of my head, I'll be on it.
No, I mean maybe he's just going to store them all in some sort of internal compartment and then work his way
Like
through 'em.
nibble on it.
That's very fair.
And if that's that guy should get a Fat Chat nomination because that the
He
size
could, like- he
of
could-
him to the amount of pierogies he's going to eat
He could take a bath in one pierogi.
in one pierogi. Yeah.
The pierogi is
He
the
could
size
hollow
of
out
him.
the pierogi and wear it as a mask, Buffalo Bill style.
Yeah.
He wore the pierogi like a pierogi suit.
what if he's just like a voracious eater and needs to eat all that
All the time. Like he's got to eat his own weight every day.
more than his whole
Yeah.
weight every day? Just
Oh, and he's just constantly pooping.
yeah.
I like it.
What if that's what runs the
Yeah. Oh.
runs the suit?
It
See?
doesn't have an anus. We
Yeah.
hear that
See?
later
Yeah,
on.
it does not.
That's a line in this
Yeah.
movie.
It's true.
Direct
All
on
right. So
Well, yeah. You
Yeah.
didn't say it doesn't have an anus. It said it doesn't have a rectum.
All right.
So there's nothing to actually close it off. It's just constantly like a rat.
all right. So he walks in this restaurant just like the bug, the Edgar suit. Walk is a loose term. He
Yeah.
ambles into the restaurant,
He Forrest Gumps it.
folds a man in half,
Yep.
and stores him in
In
other
utter
shelf.
silence.
In utter silence. Yeah.
Sticks him on a shelf.
It's a restaurant. Kitchens can be loud.
Yeah,
So
without getting bodily fluids anywhere.
We see at one point there is a shot of the majority of this restaurant. It is not that big. It is very full, and there's a lot going on.
I'll give you, he's quick.
Someone would have noticed this shit.
Yeah, but like,
No, someone would have noticed this weird ass dude coming in.
That's what I'm saying,
Number
yeah.
one.
It is New York City. There's lots of weird people
That's
everywhere.
Eh,
Although
Still,
this-
you would pay attention.
This guy was just putting this other dude's clothes on.
yeah.
Well, then, yeah,
At the waiter
he
station.
folds the guy in half. No one hears it. No one notices. He takes over his job. No one gives a shit. That part I kind of believe.
One man is the guy who puts the guy who puts the pierogies up on the shelf is directly looking at him.
Yeah, it's just like
It's like a POV shot.
where'd the other guy go? Like I gave him a break.
Yeah.
But ching.
Do you work here?
Like I do now.
Sure.
Give me the food. Like he might be robbing you. What the hell?
Turnover's crazy.
But yeah, then he goes
In
to
New
the
York.
table and he's like, they're like, "You're never gonna get the galaxy," and he's like, "Whatever," and he stabs them with his tail.
where does it come from?
Where did this tail come
Where
from?
did it come from? Where did it go, Cotton Eye Joe? I have no idea. It's just
All right. Wow.
All right.
well, sorry. I mean, but yeah, it's way too big to be sneaking out his butt or something.
I'm going to get a sound clip of that.
No, at that size, it's not sneaking anymore. It's,
Brian had that situation earlier, as a matter of fact.
But again, how does no one in this restaurant seem to notice
I
this?
don't know.
New York no gives a fuck.
well,
And they just
no,
face
no, no, At
plant.
that point, one
No,
guy
no.
is like, "Oh, you're not going anywhere," and Vincent D'Onofrio just houses that dude, and just flings him across.
Oh yeah,
the restaurant.
eventually they do know. Like once the bodies drop,
Yeah.
someone pays attention. But like,
And that's not like, like wire work or anything. That's just Vince D'Onofrio who just grabs that dude and throws him.
Oh yeah.
But he uses his tail out of nowhere and stabs these two guys in the neck.
Yep.
Yes.
And put a pin in that for now, because I got some questions.
Yeah.
And neuralizing will not solve it.
It might.
It's either on me or on Will Smith.
So I theorize that people in this movie can only see what's on camera, which would explain a lot.
That does make sense, yeah.
Because this next scene, we meet Reggie, and Reggie is in his car. And he, Agent J and Agent K are talking to him because Reggie's attempting he's gone outside the boundary zone. He can't leave Manhattan. He wasn't approved to. And they're like, "Where you going, Reggie?" And Reggie's like, "Oh, look at my wife." And then the camera pans over to the woman who's obviously in labor and screaming and everything. And they're like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." It's like, how do you not see that?
Well, in fairness to them, even if he saw that, it doesn't really explain where they're going because he wasn't going to a hospital. They were going to jump ship.
Yeah, but it's one of those, the way it was framed in the presentation.
Oh yeah,
of the
it's
scene,
ridiculous.
It's like, yeah.
I honestly, there were several points in this movie where I was expecting to see like background characters, like just everyone in New York walking around with those horse blinders on because like no one pays any attention to shit.
So we call it so now Kay's like, "All right, Jay, you handle delivering the baby. It's easy. All you gotta do is catch." And then he's like, "I'm gonna go talk to Reggie." So him and Reggie have a conversation about, all the aliens want to leave. They know something's up. Something crazy's going down. Meanwhile, in the background, a tentacle just comes out of the car and just grabs Agent J and thrashes him around.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is the mom an alien too?
Oh God, I hope so.
Is she okay?
I mean, if she wasn't
You never see her
originally,
again.
she is now.
This was almost a question for me, but I'm leaning on she was, because that tentacle I would hope was hers, because when we see the baby, and the baby wasn't that big, so
We see Edgar at the end of it, and he's way bigger than what was
that's
inside the
fair.
thing.
So who knows? But I'm hoping the tentacle was.
It was kind of a chest burster scenario.
So
Something burster.
at the end of it, you get, Agent J with a very, adorable tentacle baby.
Kit Fisto.
Kit
Fisto.
Fisto. Kit
It's Kit
Fisto
Fisto.
immediately barfs on him.
like babies do.
Yep.
It was cute though.
And then, they're like, "All right, we got to go check the reports, which are tabloids. And apparently, in this world, the tabloids are actually just true."
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's cute.
I mean,
I like that.
in Supernatural, isn't that one of the things that they check for hauntings and that sort of shit?
Yeah,
Never watched
I think so.
Could not tell you.
And I'm willing to bet they got it from here.
I think I watched the pilot episode of that, but
I still have not
There you
watched
go,
an
Joe.
episode of
That's
that.
a little something for you.
Thank you. Is that like a treat? Did I do something?
A little
good,
something
or-
for your trouble.
Don't
Treat
you like?
for you.
I thought
and
Three
garbage
Musketeers
to
were your
him,
favorite.
so-
They're good. I like them. They're in my top, possibly even top 3.
All right, well then just take it and shut up. How about that?
Rob, I was trying to commend you for doing a nice thing.
Well, that's-
You ruined it.
Yeah, never do that again.
You ruined it.
But so basically, Kay is like, all right, what would make expectant father risk traveling across the galaxy with a pregnant,
newborn.
or a newborn? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why would they? That's not safe for anyone involved. Why would he do that? Something's going on here. And so now they're trying to find out what the hell's going on.
Well, and they see that there's a woman who said an alien took over her husband. It's like, let's go meet this lady.
And sure enough, it's Beatrice.
Yep. And here's the line that I think the only line I ever quote from this movie, but where Beatrice is talking to him about it's like it came in wearing Edgar like a suit,
Like an Egger suit.
like an Edgar suit.
I love it. Just EGGR. Egger.
Here's also where I have some problems with this. She said, some cops came here before. They talked to me. I told them everything that happened, and they basically laughed at me. Like, okay, I get it. She's a weird lady. This is a strange story. Fine. But there is a giant crater in her front lawn.
Yeah,
That would have some questions.
Yeah, because that's the one, like the crater you could explain. The truck that is bent in half inside the crater.
Plus, And I don't know exactly how this went down, but there's a good chance there's still a body in their barn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So these might be like the shittiest cops ever.
Did the Mythbusters just come by and do like the cement truck explosion? Yeah.
And in theory, there's
I'll
like
borrow your truck for a moment.
Yeah.
Bam.
in theory
I bet
there's like Edgar's insides or somewhere too. Like if the bug like hollowed him out, you know?
Yeah.
That's entirely possible. I kind of put that to he ate him, but yeah, we don't really know.
I bet she never went into the barn because that was his place.
It's man
I
barn.
believe she didn't. The cops should have.
She is probably just desperately trying to cling to any sense of normalcy and, you know, is probably 3/4 of the way to a nervous breakdown.
That's funny. I'd like to file a missing persons report. Okay. Did you check the barn?
Let me call you back.
I'm not allowed in there.
Yeah, probably.
Edgar said no.
Yeah.
And last time I went near it, it sounded like a giant pig squealing in there.
Now,
So...
I think it's about time to shake the shit out of a dog.
So yeah, this is when he figures out with the sugar water, taking the guy's skin, all that. He's like, they're dealing with a bug.
Dealing with fat chat.
Yeah.
And they're seeing more and more other aliens are, they're getting off the planet. They're something's up.
And
We gotta deal with this.
He uses the line that the bug is terrassing around Manhattan in a brand new Edgar suit,
Like you do.
which is now my plan for this weekend.
No.
Watch out, Edgar.
Yeah. I mean, I had Taco Bell today, so I'm also terrassing.
Oh, wait. Other note, when they're doing all this, they go back to the station at one point, and he's like, oh, guys, and do me a favor. Just fucking look up. And there's a giant ship over the entire Earth that's now threatening us.
Yeah.
Just like nobody seemed to notice this. But, yeah, it's giving out, it's in some alien language, but they're starting to piece together. They're saying, we want the universe.
Galaxy.
The
Galaxy, sorry.
Yeah. All right. So
They gotta find out what that means.
now they go to.
Yeah, we need a diplomat, so we go to Frank.
Well, no, not yet. We go to the morgue
We go to the
first.
morgue. Yeah, we jump.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because like
Yeah,
what's it
I
called?
jumped
Linda
the whole thing.
Florentino is like, yo, I'm like third billing in this movie. You should probably have me do something.
Yeah, because now we got three bodies, but two are weird.
And yeah, so they show up and pretend to be from a different coroner's office. And yeah, here's where we learn that the body does not have a rectum.
Yeah.
And
Well, there's also a lot of organs missing, and it looks like he's got some kind of weird earring. And we give that a little tug.
I mean, it's where Robbie had more questions. You have something to say about this?
Yeah, so
It's a little man in the boat.
so
Just fuck with him. Awful. All right.
yeah, Will Smith tickles this dude's ear.
Oh my God! Did you shit your pants?
What was that?
I think more noise came out of your mouth.
Yeah, that came out the wrong end. Dude.
You're pushing kind of
Are
hard.
you okay?
yeah, no, it tried to escape the other end.
All right then.
That was just a cough and a
Did
sputter.
you shit your mouth?
Cartman style.
Consider yourself lucky. Like, I could tell that was just about to be an accident.
I'm probably gonna have to go to the bathroom in a few minutes.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, so Will Smith tickles his corpse's ear,
God damn it.
and the body's face opens up to reveal this little alien sitting inside this thing's head. And this alien is like dying, I guess. And the thing I don't understand, so
He cut the pierogi tube with his claw.
boom, is that what it is? Okay, because
The pierogies are not getting to me.
by all accounts, he just jabbed a nail through this thing's neck, but didn't actually touch.
Yo, either that, or he just ate all the pierogies. He's like, why did I do that?
I'm dying.
He was just lying inside the coroner's office this whole time. He's just like, oh, I guess I'll just eat pierogies while I wait.
I know, man. Like, because he hit it.
I mean, I've been there, man.
I
I've
believe
been
this
there.
was the thing. We see the tail goes to the neck, but the little guy's in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, why the hat? But going through the neck, it disabled the suit. So yeah, he was just stuck inside and was like, there's nothing I can do. So I'm just eating these pierogies.
Yeah, but like all the like little monitors and stuff inside, they were still on. So as far as I could tell, the suit still had power. Like,
I mean, he probably cut like a life support tube or
sure.
Yeah, somehow he seemed to at least shut down the suit.
Yeah.
But this little alien manages to.
That, or like he needed the atmosphere that was inside that head, and Will Smith opened it. Died right there.
His head explodes.
Just catches him. His mouth is just full of pierogi.
Yeah,
That's funny if that was really it. Like, he was okay, like, no.
Get the galaxy.
So he managed to tell him that the galaxy is in Orion's belt
yep.
before he Optimus Primes out. He closed his eyes and all the monitors and stuff just shut off immediately.
Well, like, another question is, like, why was there a button on the outside for it to open?
It's emergency.
That would be
That's kind of
like,
a valid point.
if something accidentally hits that while he's ambling around, his face just opens
Yeah, it's
up.
like-
Puts a hat on. It's his ear.
Some kid hits him with a frisbee walking down the
Or
street.
the cat just bats at his face.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cat. Like, you put little silver things in your ear.
Oh.
Cat's gonna go at it.
Yeah, and if your face opens up, that little guy in there is dead once the
Oh,
cat
yeah,
sees him.
exactly.
Yeah. Although we did have, I threw this out there. You think that might be Goose?
Could be Goose.
It's the right time. This is 97.
I mean, Goose would defend himself way better against
It's
Way
true.
better.
the bug.
That is
yeah.
true.
Yeah, Edgar would not be
Maybe
in a
something
good
happened to
place.
Goose. I don't-
So we all saw the MIB International trailer, right?
Yes.
I have not, but
Brian has.
I don't care.
Yeah, you saw it during.
Did I? Oh, it
Yeah.
wasn't.
So is the little guy and that supposed to be the same race, you think? The one that, like, Camille Nanjiani's
I don't
voicing?
believe so, but maybe.
Remember?
No, I don't.
He didn't quite look the same.
Okay. They're just
But,
small.
but yeah, like,
It's a little dude wearing like a samurai outfit for some weird reason.
is that what it was?
I
Like a
don't know
knife.
I thought
what
it was like a knit hat.
It doesn't matter.
It
It's so,
doesn't matter.
Usually he's dressed
I'm-
like a
I'm-
Sherpa.
It's Thor and Valkyrie versus Skrulls. That's
Yeah,
what it
I'm
is.
pretty sure the movie's called Highlander. I'm not Highlander.
Might as well.
Highlander 2 might be.
Yeah, called Men in Black. It doesn't matter.
That's fair.
I don't know where my brain's going today. Nebulizer and Highlander. Anyway,
Known property, you'll probably see it.
yeah. So the bug in the Edgar suit stole like this thing from the two guys that it thought contained a galaxy, and it is now having a life or death battle inside its truck.
I believe they call
No,
it a
don't
good
say-
old fashioned spaz out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's better than what you said earlier.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess the idea is he's trying to break this open, but like half the time he's throwing himself at the wall more than this thing. It's just
It's
like
just a
freaking out.
It's got a button, just a release button. You just press it and it opens.
And like my thing is like he's strong as fuck.
Yeah.
Just rip it open. He shoves a fucking saucer spaceship through a van.
Yeah.
Like just fucking open the thing. Like,
Folds a man in half.
Yeah, he snapped the dude in half and put him on a shelf. But he can't open this pickle jar. Like, I don't know.
but inside's just diamonds. Just diamonds. Like,
Diamonds.
Yeah.
Inside it's diamonds. Just like all of you listeners, inside your diamonds.
It didn't even have
On
two
the outside,
tickets
you're
to that thing
disgusting.
you love. So they go back to MIB headquarters, and we find out that MIB was formed by like some guys that had some scientists that had an encounter with some aliens, and one guy that kind of accidentally, was on his way to give his wife some flowers and stumbled on the thing. We find out that Kay was that guy that was in the wrong place, the wrong time, and gave the flower to the alien essentially.
Yeah, Jay gets all of this immediately,
Yeah.
which I guess, proving he is the best of the best. But damn.
he just pays attention to stuff.
Totally caught. Like,
He's like, that looks like a young Tommy Lee Jones.
Well, yeah, like, he's showing him the picture of the young kid giving him flowers. And he's like, oh, you gave that nice man some flowers. Like, how did you know that was him? Like,
because it looks like the dude for the first 10 minutes of Up, and Tommy Lee Jones looks like the dude from the last 70 minutes of Up. He just put two and two together, man.
okay.
All right. So, meanwhile, we see Edgar, who goes back to the jewelry store on like a Tommy Wiseau-esque rampage. Just trashes the place.
It's better than that because he actually breaks things.
Yeah. And notices that this guy really has a lot of pictures of his cat.
Like a lot of like portraits and boudoir photos.
He's like, oh,
Like a disturbing amount of pictures of his cat.
He's like, oh, I'm going to get that cat.
And those are the ones for the public's viewing.
Well, I think for him, it's more that he actually notices what the cat's wearing because he knows what he's
Nothing at all.
When Jay and Kay leave to go to the jewelry store themselves, and this is when the Zed authorizes Jay to be armed, and he gets the noisy cricket.
Yeah.
Which I don't get why you would issue him that, which clearly requires specialized training, and not tell him.
Specialized training or like more equipment?
There's got to be something to go with it. Basically, every time he fires this thing, it shoots him back like 10 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, and the recoil is obviously affecting his accuracy, too.
I was saying, while watching it, like, I feel like this is that one piece of...
Nice. There
That's
it
what I
is.
was looking
There you
for
go.
before.
That registered too.
But this is that one piece of equipment that needs to be paired up with, like, those iron boots you get in Zelda so you don't go flying away.
But
Yeah,
they
hold
go
on.
to- what's that?
This is they go to the jewelry store, and this is again where I'm like, does everyone just wear blinders? Because they go into this jewelry store and they're like, oh, somebody broke in here. What kind of person breaks in without stealing the jewels? While they're doing this weird ass decaying man is fighting with a tow truck driver right across the street. Who's trying to tow away his giant exterminator van that has half a spaceship coming out of it.
Yeah, that's
They noticed
best part.
none of this.
Like,
New
there's
York.
half a spaceship just sticking out the top of the truck.
I will say this. The back door is closed in the van. So all you see is some damage on the roof part. You can't really.
Yes, but
it doesn't open until after the truck, the tow truck drops it. That's when the back opens and they see it. So I'll give him a little bit of leeway on that one.
here's the problem with that, though. He got hired because he's like, no, that dude's got a tissue. He's just sneezing. That girl's carrying physics books, but doesn't notice the decaying man having a gunfight with this tow truck driver.
Doesn't see Farmer Zombie.
I don't get this tow truck driver. Because, I mean, all right, so he's packing, right? But, like, this guy walks up to him with a shotgun pointed at him. And he's like, yo, I got a gun too. And then, like, goes back to what he's doing. But
doesn't even pull it out.
I'll consider this resolved.
yeah, it's like he's still pointing a shotgun at you.
I
Like,
feel like if you're a tow truck driver in New York City, you've like seen some horrendous shit.
I'm sure that's true.
Probably guns pointed at
There's a
you
show
all the
about that,
time.
too.
it's probably more like, I hope this guy just fucking shoots me. So I can
End
take
it
some
now.
PTO.
End it now.
Like, I want to get on some disability or
But
something
that's
like that.
I'm
But
willing
that's
to
the
lose
thing.
an arm.
If he comes at him with a shotgun and the guy points the gun in his face and goes, please, and it cuts away, then I'm okay with it. But instead, yeah, he's just like, look, I got a piece of my, in
Please.
my waistband. Like, yeah, like,
So
no,
I
you
would-
got to pull that thing.
Yeah,
Like, he's
I would
still
just
got
be
a
like,
gun on you.
okay, drop that gun.
Yeah.
Or like how he just plays it and just shoot the dude.
Yep.
Shoots him, and now I have two guns.
Yeah.
Oh, we should mention that when they're dissecting the alien bodies, whatever, the guy dies in the head. He broken English says to them, you have to stop the war by Orion. I mean, the galaxies in Orion's. Blah 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 blah. But they can't. He's like, what's the word? And Will Smith's like, belt. He's like, oh, belt, like whatever. He just dies. So now Will Smith says, he's like, oh, to stop the war, Orion's, the galaxies in Orion's belt. And so the whole rest of the movie, they're trying to do, like, what's Orion's belt do to anything? What is it? It's a constellation. We don't get it.
Yeah.
But in the scene here, you see when Edgar is in the jewelry store, he looked at the pictures of Orion. The cat's name was Orion. He has a fucking, like, little glowing orb around his fucking neck.
Yeah.
And it's like, first I was like, motherfucker, you couldn't say collar? You spoke perfect English inside the restaurant. It's a fucking collar. It's fucking same collar.
All right. So
I don't know the word for it.
He was having a little mermaid moment. Okay,
built. This cat built.
This is also kind of when, I mean, like, whatever for the movie, but the cat goes into the morgue with these bodies, and the girl there gets the cat and whatever. But you'd think somebody along the lines would be like, this color looks like it's worth a shit ton of money. I'm taking that. Whatever.
So, this is when Jay decides he's going to open fire, and apparently they haven't gone over anything about discharging firearms. what the firearms do.
Nope.
He's learning as we do. So the noisy cricket launches him with its recoil. Why the energy weapon has recoil, I don't know.
No idea.
Oh,
It's
they're
funny
all
because
from
it's
different-
tiny, I guess.
If they're all supposedly from like different planets and different,
Yeah.
why are they all made out of the same exact material?
Yeah.
the
Shining
best.
silver.
The
Yeah.
best of the best.
I mean, or
So-
maybe it's like a charged particle weapon or something where there's an actual projectile leaving. I don't know. Either way, this gun's powerful as fuck.
I'm gonna say
So-
it's a sonic weapon since it's a noisy cricket.
All right.
Yeah,
That
makes
makes
sense.
sense.
Light on fire though. When
Well, yeah, it burned a hole through a tractor trailer and some other stuff.
It has a sonic element to it.
All right, but either way, the bug gets away on the tow truck, but he manages to dislodge the van from it. So now they have his ship. And they figure out that, all right, we got to go, get Orion's collar.
Also, I'm kind of disappointed that happened because I liked where we were going with it. Like, I have a ship, and then I put my ship in the van, and then I drive the tow truck, pulling the van, holding my ship.
Oh,
Like,
you
I
wanna
was
see
hoping
where-
that would grow. Yeah.
By the end, it'd be like a Pee-wee's Big Adventure scene where, like, a boat pulling Santa's sleigh
Yes.
that's being raided by Godzilla
Yes.
crashes into the truck with Twisted Sister on it.
Exactly.
All right,
are we gonna watch that for the podcast? Pee-wee?
it's on there. It's on the list.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, so this is where they go and meet
The dog.
the dog. Yeah.
That's great.
The dog's an alien and it
Yeah,
talks.
and he's hanging out with like what's essentially he looks like riffraff from the.
It does look like riffraff.
Yeah, it does.
Like riffraff today.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, it's an adorable little pug, but he talks, and Jay just grabs him.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
sorry.
Tommy Lee Jones is holding a pug and just shaking the bejesus out.
like for real.
Yeah.
That is
Like
not
a
CG.
shake weight.
That is-
I think at one point, they sped the reel up at one point.
I'd believe it.
So then he wasn't shaking them all that hard. It's like kind of hold them upside down, whatever. And then sped
I mean,
up, it looked like it was worse than it was.
The only real emotion you get out of Agent K the whole movie is him just shaking the shit out of this dog.
it's just
Yeah.
so angry about it.
And to be fair, and don't try this at home, I love pugs, but I kind of have a feeling you could probably just shake the shit out of them and they'd be okay.
Oh
with
yeah,
it.
with all
Yeah.
that extra skin, it's like a shake weight. That's just,
Oh god!
It's just, oh, God.
Like, wee,
That
this is
visual is-
fun.
It's probably the only way they can breathe properly.
But basically, the pug tells them that they're trying to find the galaxy is basically a small marble-sized thing.
Yeah.
Because humans are dumb and they don't realize that important things can be in small packages. Like Jay with the noisy cricket being powerful as fuck,
Yeah, the galaxy is here on Earth.
Yeah, and that
supposedly a limitless source of energy, but it's a galaxy the size of a marble. It only has a galaxy's worth of energy.
but they said it was a good
Wow.
source of subatomic particles. That's what he
And vitamin
said
C.
it was.
So
Have-
anything.
Have you not watched Rick and Morty?
Yeah,
I haven't.
There's
Oh, you
tons
have
of
it.
made up science in it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Just go with that.
All right.
This whole ship is powered.
They
on the
say
little
tons
galaxy.
of things to make it sound smart.
Yeah. So after they let the dog go, it barks at a cat on a building.
Yeah.
And the cat had a collar on it, and Jay's like, wait a minute. Oh, cat's
Cats
name
have
Orion.
collars.
He didn't mean belt, he meant collar. But that's such an easy word, and you had to go you bought a collar for him. Why wouldn't you know that the name was, because you went and bought one. Oh, sorry.
He bought tons of them. They were all
Yeah.
displayed in his store.
Tons of
All right,
collars.
but in fairness, that weirdo probably ambled up to the counter in the store and went, "Where is your cat belt?"
Do you sell pierogies?
Joe, you okay, man? Like, you
All right, yeah,
He's about to take a dump in that
getting it
chair.
all out.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, all right.
All right, so
Not in the upholstered chairs. Fine.
no, it's all going out the back. That's why there's a hole there.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, there's a hole in the sheet.
It's a wooden floor.
Yeah. All right. So somehow the Edgar suit Bug here does a more subtle interrogation than Kay to find out where the morgue is. Because Kay shaked just the shit out of a pug. The Bug just runs at a dude, goes, "Where do you keep your dad?" Flips his table over.
It's like, what?
He also grabs a postcard before he leaves.
True. Of the World's Fair.
Yes.
So
Stark Expo.
yeah. Here's where the movie's like, let's up the ante. Send in David Cross at the morgue.
Up a what ante? I need
The
something that
WTF
says.
ante.
I need something that says, "Daddy likes leather."
So
Leather Daddy?
Anus tart.
I'm a disciplined daddy.
I'm the first anal rapist. All right, so yeah,
He lost his license because he
No.
gave CPR to a sleeping man. I'm sorry.
so basically he comes in the morgue, just rings the shit out of the bell. David Cross comes in. There's bugs everywhere. David Cross starts killing them, and he's like, "All right, that's it. I've had enough of you." Which, in fairness, was more David Cross than I would have been able to tolerate.
Fair.
He lasted longer.
But somehow he gets off a much easier time here. He just gets plastered to the ceiling, possibly to survive.
He's in the second movie.
Well, David Cross is in the second movie. I don't know if it's supposed to be the same
You're
character.
saying it's a different character?
It might be. I don't
Could be
know.
a twin.
he probably just like gooped him up, kind of like how that guy in UHF was licking turtles and then throwing them so they stuck on the ceiling.
Or
He
Scarlett,
just did that.
or Scarlett Johansson in Eight-Legged Freaks.
Yes, but
I forgot about that.
Oh man.
wow. But it's still. I'll take that over getting my back snapped in half and put on a shelf.
That's where John Peters saw it. He saw that and he's like, "All right, giant fucking spider."
I'm sure a lot of people saw that and thought things.
Yeah.
Giant spiders, indeed.
Ugh.
Let's not do that right now.
So, anyway, so the he goes into the morgue, grabs the cat. First he grabs what's her name, Dr. Weaver here.
Yeah, he's looking for the cat, but
Yeah.
she's like, I don't know where it is.
So he's just dragging her around while they're looking for it.
She says, "Not my skort."
Yeah. And then here's where Jay's like, "All right, Kay, you got to hold back for a little bit. Give me 2 minutes. I'm going to go in there and sweet talk this person." And she's so the setup, the Bug is hiding underneath a rolling cart with a blanket under it. And then Dr. Weaver is standing next to it. And then Jay's on the other side of the cart where he can't see the Bug. And Dr. Weaver's like, "There's something I really need to show you."
She's like
Pointing
pointing down.
Yeah.
Well, in all fairness,
Yep.
her hand is dumb.
It's
Because
like right on her vagina.
she's pointing at her vagina. The first
Yeah,
time she does, she's pointing at her vagina
Yes.
on purpose. Like,
Yeah. It could have been out a little further and indicating like under the table.
under the table.
Well, also, she immediately started with, I really want to go with you. Can we go somewhere? And doing that first, and then is like, I need to show you something, and pointing, as you said, like directly at
so
her
it's
crotch.
her being a coroner and able to speak to live human beings.
And
his...
Jay got real creepy real quick.
Oh, yeah, he did. He's like,
Real creepy.
Like, oh yeah, that's gonna happen, but just give me a second. Like, whoa.
yeah, I know we don't know each other, but I'll hit it.
I'm ready to have sex with you right here in front of all these dead people, but like, let's chill, calm it down just a little.
And
No monkey bites.
and like how cats are wont to behave, it immediately just jumps in between the two of them and hisses, and then
That is correct.
friggin' Edgar's like snatch, grabs the cat, grabs Dr. Weaver. She's like,
I'm out.
You are an idiot. Yeah, and then he just fucking jumps out a window and like he's out, like he throws like an Indian man out of a taxi and drives off.
Well, yeah, he throws the guy out of the taxi, and then he's like, I need to leave some
Stupid.
clues behind.
Yeah.
So he pulls out the beaded chair thing and the little
He just
crown.
didn't want to sit on that.
Fine.
Yeah, get that shit out of here. And he's off.
Actually, he pulls that from the driver's seat, which he makes her drive, so he wouldn't have sat on it anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe he don't like beads.
Yeah,
It wasn't aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. You can't stand to have it. And then he swallows the whole galaxy and looks very proud of himself. And he tells her to drive, and she's like, no. And he makes a face that is unacceptable.
I believe his little mandible things start to open
Yep.
from within.
And she's
We'll get
like,
into more of that in a moment.
all right, I'll go wherever you want to go. And yeah, they're off to the World's Fair. J and K go back to headquarters, where the rest of the message is decoded from the Archillian battleship or battle cruiser that's in orbit. And they're like, you have 1 galactic standard week to deliver to Galaxy, or we're destroying Earth. And we're going to melt your polar ice caps as a warning shot.
And they do.
Yeah.
And,
That doesn't cause any problems. though.
no, not at all.
No, and Manhattan's just submerged underwater.
Yeah.
And the credits roll.
Problem solved.
Yeah. All right. So Jay looks at a picture of the World's Fair flying saucers. He's like, bam, that's where they're going. Old guys, look at that. Let's go. And yeah.
Yeah, it's the only place, the only ship left that he could possibly get to. So he must be going there. Let's go there ourselves.
Yep. So now we get the scene in the tunnel with the red button.
The car transforms into this fucking jet thing and rides on top of on the ceiling of the tunnel, which
Can't fly, but
yeah. I'm just like, why? Just make the car fly, like shit.
And it can fly, but yet it has an 8-track player.
He likes his 8 tracks.
He does
I
like
mean,
his tracks, yeah.
Yeah,
Likes his
they
Elvis.
they're all designed very retro, despite having the highest level
Yeah.
of technology outside of Wakanda. I
like
guess.
The Incredibles.
Yeah. With proper aerodynamics, like a race car, if you get it up there, can stay, because it's putting so much downforce. The way it's displacing air, it would stay on the ceiling and go at the speeds it's traveling.
if the downforce is right, yeah.
Yeah, but if you was
Not
in
so
like
much on a Lincoln Continental.
yeah, on a Lincoln Continental, yeah, no,
It was a Crown Vic.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry.
not any better though. All right, you
Ford
get the
POS.
joke where like because he's listening to Elvis, Will Smith's like, "Well, Elvis is dead," and he's like, "He isn't dead. He just went home."
Classic.
And yeah, they're out the other side, and they're at the World's Fair. Climax of the movie time.
Getting locked and loaded, and we're about to go in.
They win. Credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is a very brief, like.
Yeah.
I thought the fight was okay. I like how Dr. Weaver just gives him one elbow to the head. Like, he's carrying her up the ladder. He's like, I'm going to eat you on the way home. And she elbows him in the head once. He's like, fuck it, I'm just going to throw you into the street.
It's not worth the trouble.
Yeah.
And she handles it like a trooper.
Yep. Well, considering what was going to happen to her, I would be happy with that outcome.
Yeah, but
Few broken ribs.
Yeah, like she would not be doing this well.
All right, so he takes the first flying saucer. He's flying that away. Decides to, stop at Shea Stadium first. And at this point, J and K fire their energy weapons up into the sky and blast this thing out of the sky. I can't tell if this guy was just dumbfounded by the sight of the flying saucer, or, I mean, that's just how the Mets played back then. But, like, he
Little
just
bit of
stood
both,
there
I
and
think.
watched the ball hit him in the head.
No,
He got knocked out.
those
He
Piazza
blames-
years. Those were Piazza years.
Yeah, but Piazza wasn't over there. Like, Piazza was behind the catchers.
Well, he blames it on the flying saucer,
Yeah.
as we find out. But
Yeah.
yeah, so he just whips this thing around, and it crashes back down in front of J and K. And he, is like, I come out, and I'm gonna give you guys a hard time.
They stand in front of an obvious green screen
Yeah,
and
this-
just sliding
this
towards
scene-
him.
This scene today, looking at like, damn, that looks pretty shitty.
Yeah, that was like one of the most obvious
And
ones.
it's a shame because they do a good job with Tommy Lee Jones is standing there stone faced, and Will Smith is kind of doing his like, I'm trying to look cool, but like I keep looking over like,
Yeah.
are we really we're staying here?
Well, the actors are doing fine.
Yes.
Everything else
They're
is
just standing
But yeah,
still.
it's so fake. It's just hard
It looks.
to watch.
It looks like they just took that clip from the Star Trek movie
Yeah.
where they
Yeah.
disconnect the disc and they just like pasted those guys on the front of it.
And then he pulls Vincent D'Onofrio out and punches him in the face and says, "Welcome to Earth."
Welcome to Earth.
Oh, he just gets out of the ship. Is like, what the fuck's wrong with you guys? Like,
Yeah.
like, he's mad at them. Like they should just let him go. Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you guys? You shut me down.
And then, so they're pointing guns at him.
Why'd you pull me over?
And yeah, they tell him to put his hands above his head. So he does and rips off the Edgar suit and turns into this gigantic ass bug.
It's like 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
14, 15
Gotta
feet
be-
long.
Yeah, at least a ton in weight if not more.
And part
It's
of my
got
issue,
6 legs.
Yeah.
part of my issue here, the way they kind of like, I know it's for dramatic effect again, but the way he kind of unfolds, his head must have been in his crotch. So how is he eating things? How are those mandibles coming out? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the proper way to have done that would be if his back exploded first.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the bulk just busts out of the back,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then like his face falls off and his face is there behind the face, but that's not how it looked. Like
So they stand there and just let the bug reach out and grab their guns and eat them.
Yeah,
Really easily.
immediately just goes, "Bop," and those guns are gone.
Agent J, I get. Agent K, I don't get.
Oh yeah.
Agent K probably has dealt with a bug before,
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
but Jay is like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, I get him being dumbfounded.
Yeah.
and caught off
Oh
guard.
yeah, but Kay, like, as soon as he was like, "Oh, put my hands on my head," I would have shot him in the face. Like, done. Like, this is over. I'm not,
Agent J was
I'm not
like,
messing around.
none of my training has prepared me for this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
We'll get into more of that in a
Kay
moment
would
too.
not have let him like advance on him either. He'd be like, "You take one more step, I'm blowing a leg off."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, basically, Kay's like, "You know what? I'm gonna go get the guns back," and just walks over to Bug. He's like, "Hey, eat me." And Bug's like, "All right, eats him."
He makes sure to insult bugs first.
Yeah.
Because that's his thing. Like, you can't insult bugs around him.
Yeah.
Eat me and please God do it in one swallow because
Yeah.
this plan is not going
didn't
to go
say
well
bite me.
otherwise.
Well, imagine if he just ate him like a praying mantis. Like,
Yeah.
you just held him
Bit
and
the head
just
off.
like,
Yeah.
a little,
Or yeah, just bite that.
just nibbled him all the way down to nothing.
It's like, this is not go how I planned.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Well, that didn't work out too well.
All right. So now Jay just gets into a fight with the big ass bug.
Yep.
Whoops his ass for
And
a while.
it goes about as well as you think.
Yeah, he's throwing things at it. He's waving fire at it, and it's just like, you are garbage to me, and knocks him away.
He gets his swag back for the end though when he's stepping on the bugs, and then the bug walks right up to him, like, you know, "I'm gonna get you," and he's like, "You better get off my face."
Yeah, that was
This,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a fine little moment, but like, I kind of annoyed me because we set up throughout this whole movie that this bug has, you know, it's a thing with the other bugs, like they're all his family, whatever. He didn't like the exterminator, he didn't like David Cross crushing him, but we know that as the audience. Jay never saw any of that, so there's no reason he should have known this would work.
Well, he figures it out
He
after he
steps on
accidentally
one, yeah.
stepped on one. Yeah. And then he's like, "Oh, you don't like bugs." Like he says it and he starts stepping on other ones.
He steps on one.
accidentally stepped
Yeah,
on
the
it.
Yeah,
first
because
one's
he got
accident.
thrown into the dumpster
Yeah.
Yeah.
and shook a bunch of bugs loose. And then
Yeah.
he stepped on one getting up, and Edgar turned around. It was like, what? And so he
Oh,
somehow
like-
kicks a hole in the side of the dumpster.
He's like, "Oh, was that your
It was
auntie?"
rusty.
Yeah, I guess so.
And 1,000 cockroaches come out of that.
Well, I mean, it's New York dumpster.
Yeah, it's New York. Man.
At the World's Fair, they no one had been there since the 60s.
That's right. It's just that one cheeseburger that's been there for the
So
past 50 years.
yeah, right when this thing's about to, you know, bite Jay, Kay has gotten the guns back, activated them, and just blows this thing apart. Goo flies everywhere.
Everywhere. So much goo.
Yeah. And they're sitting there just like, "Oh, that was a good time. There's the galaxy." You know, they're talking about stuff, and you see the front half of the bug is still crawling around.
Wait, they're just kind of like, "Oh, this is a good time." Like,
Yeah.
credits really should be coming up any minute now, I think, right? Or why is that not happening? What's...
Luckily, Dr. Weaver comes in with the save. This guy like tries to, you know, die hard them and basically gets die harded.
I said he almost got Deep Blue Seed.
Yeah, no. He was going for a deep blue seed. He got die hearded. That's how that works out.
Yes.
All right. So then they're like, "All right, well, I guess Weaver, you know, that got her a membership right there.
Yeah.
Could be MIB." And yeah, they go back to the headquarters, and Kay's like, "Yo, I'm not training a partner. I'm training a replacement. Here's here's the nebulizer. You know, here's how you set it. You know, just hit me with that shit."
Which, oh, this aggravates me.
What's that?
Just because, yeah, he said, you know, "I'm pulling out the neuralizer because it's not for her, it's for me. She's going to be your new partner or whatever. I was training you as my replacement." And unfortunately, this is my experience with retail work, but like, literally, he's like, "Here's day 2. You haven't learned shit. Here's the keys to the city. go do your thing.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I mean, and he's a shift supervisor by next week. It's just like retail.
He takes over for Zed like by Christmas.
well, you learned nothing. It's your second day of work. Now you're in charge.
And you're
All
training
right.
someone else.
And you're training someone
Yeah,
else.
That's the best part.
that's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
Well, that's how it
actually
goes.
is.
It's like, I know like 3 things. I guess show that to her.
You're like, this is how they showed it to me to do it in training, but this is how I do it.
First you take this ball and break half the stuff in here.
Well, here's
you
a bunch of
Touch
guns.
this orb, it burns you.
Yeah, then
Here's a bunch of guns in the trunk. We only use those on special occasions. The one that you're going to wear on your hip all the time, I've never actually touched that, so I don't know. Here's a little cricket. You can't use that because it'll just throw you away. All
Don't
right.
talk to any of the aliens because they're all grumpy.
Yeah. Shake a dog, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get caught up in a mystery case, just shake this dog.
And then just read tabloids.
Yeah.
Done.
Easy.
But yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Collect your paycheck.
But the tabloids tell us that
They never said anything about a paycheck.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Kay apparently, he like supposedly woke up after a coma for several years. I guess his girlfriend was just waiting for him because whatever,
His wife.
convenient.
Yeah.
Was it his wife?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, he's been watching her with the satellite.
Well, yes, that part I'm aware of. But happy ending for him. All is well.
Hopefully.
Jay and L, right? They're hot on the case.
Yep.
And yeah, it's
This movie ends with a really not good 1-2 punch. So they're partners now. They're going off on the whatever the new mission is. They make a really dated Dennis Rodman joke,
yep.
where of course he's an alien.
an alien.
Not much of a
I
disguise.
think it was even dated for 97.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just the Men in Black theme just hits you. And I forgot it existed, and I forgot it was that era where Will Smith just stole another song and then like rapped over it. Not well.
Sampled another song.
Sampled another
in its
song.
entirety.
Yeah, yeah, and then rapped over it not well.
Fuck
And-
you, I love that song.
Oh god.
What?
No,
It's
because
catchy.
they played the original
catchy.
one at my job, and I honestly don't know what the words are because I just hear
Yep.
"Here Come the Men in Black."
Correct.
And like the original song is not that bad, but like this, it's so lazy and so flagrant. I hate it.
Joe,
Yeah,
Joe,
Uh-oh.
just bounce with me. Just bounce with me.
I'm not gonna.
Just
How
bounce
about,
with me.
would you slide with me? Slide
No.
with me?
No.
Slide with
I'm
me?
not
Come on,
gonna.
take a walk with me. Just
Oh,
walk
you
with me.
beat me to
Just walk with me.
Remember the video for that? What is that?
That's all I
Terrible
see.
ass CGI.
Yeah,
Whoa.
like Mikey
yeah.
like walked on screen and danced with him.
I also can I tell you how kind of sad I was because I saw that video because it was freaking everywhere for the longest time. And yeah, that horrible little Mikey is like dancing with everybody. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go see this movie. And there's Mikey, and oh, he exploded in the first 5 minutes.
You thought he was like going to be an
I'll tell
important
you-
character.
No.
I'm still. I'll still take this any day over going straight to the Wild Wild West.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's on the fail list. I'm,
Be out
I'm
of that.
assuming.
Oh, yeah.
Be out of that dress when you meet Jim West.
Oh, nice.
Which song is better? The Men in Black one or the Wild West one?
Which one's better?
Yeah.
No,
song's
we were
better.
just talking about.
Oh,
No.
no, don't you meant the movie. Rather watch this.
Oh, both.
Yeah,
Oh.
either or. You take your pick.
Wait, which
Movie
movie,
or-
is better?
Which song is better?
Oh no, they're both awful, but I'll take the Men in Black theme over
Okay.
Wild Wild West. Yeah,
And that's Men in Black.
Yeah.
Woo. All right, guys. So what else can you tell us about Men in Black from 1997, Tony?
Well, on RottenTomatoes.com, critics gave this a score of 92%. Audience gave this a score of 79%. I have a feeling that that's currently, so I have a feeling that might have been marked down since it came out. Because I find that hard to believe. But that's their thoughts and opinions on it. What about you and yours, Will?
So of all the movies that I've been able to record with you guys, I've probably seen this one the most amount of times in my personal life. I've got a lot of nostalgia around it. It's one of those ones I've seen too many times to count. I had the VHS. It was at like my grandma's house. I'd watch that all the time. She was really into Rip Torn, which I thought was kind of funny. Every time it said Rip Torn on the credit, she was like, "Oh, I love this
How old
movie."
were you when this came out?
7. So it was like a big deal. Like,
Just got Dodgeball on Blu-ray.
yeah. So yeah, it was a big deal. Like, it was one of those ones that I just watched all the time and loved it. And I think it held up. It was fun watching it with you guys and kind of making fun of it as we went along, but still like was super entertaining. I think it's one of those rewatchable movies that say it's on cable, even though some of us probably don't have cable anymore. But if you catch it at a scene, you're like, I'm going to sit down and watch like a scene or two and continue what I'm doing, depending on where it's at. As far as sequels, I don't really think you need to see those if you haven't already. And I highly recommend it to any listener that's not given it a shot yet.
Okay, Brian.
I enjoyed the movie. I watched it yesterday because I wasn't sure if I'd be able to make it on time today to be able to watch it with you all, and then I watched it again today with you all, and I enjoyed it both times I saw it. Like it's still a fun watch. It holds up in its pacing and everything, but not so much in like the effects you see. But all the puppets still look great. You know, that's fine. The CGI is a little bit dated now. But it's a fun watch. I'm still a fan of it. Like I'm still good. I still like it. I give it about it's a B movie. It's not it's not an A plus for me. It's about a B. You know,
But not B movie.
Right.
Just to be clear.
right.
Sorry. Joe.
So, I mean, it has some problems, but like they're minor. It's a good time. Like it's not anywhere near as good as I remember, but it's still fun. Still, for the most part, holds up. You know, there was some special effects issues, but like nothing major. And like I do really like Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones' performance. I think the movie has sort of tarnished in my mind, sort of like how the Lord of the Rings movies are tarnished a little bit because The Hobbit exists, and like the the Star Wars, the original Star Wars are tarnished a little bit because the prequels exist. Like they're knowing that those bad movies followed it, hurts it a little bit, but like as on its own as a as a movie, I'd say I agree with Brian. It's like a B. Yeah, it's a 90s A. But
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, but it's like a B overall.
Okay. Rob.
Yeah, I mean, it's a totally fine, watchable, entertaining movie. I can't say that I would ever go out of my way. Like, if I was like, I need a movie to watch, I don't think I'd ever really go for this one. But that said, my feelings echo most of yours. It's a B- in my book. It's like a totally harmless, enjoyable thing to have on and to enjoy at any time, really. But I just wouldn't seek it out. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be repeating a lot of the same stuff, so I'll save some of that. But this is probably the closest you're gonna get to like revitalizing like a Ghostbusters type franchise, which I did appreciate at the time. Now I kind of wish we could see like the darker version of it, because they definitely went more comedic as time went on, and that's probably not in its favor. Definitely from that second one, but I'll save that for a different podcast. And yeah, the CGI does not work out so well, but thankfully they had some practical effects, and those are still good. And it's perfectly harmless, like you were saying, like a B movie. Like it's fine to throw on, but don't go out of your way for it. So yeah, recommends all around. So recommendation for this podcast is MIB. What else we got for the people, Brian?
So, what do we have next?
Well, the D20 of Fate is on an undisclosed hiatus. Because we have a
Get it out of here.
deluge of sponsored episodes and themed episodes coming up pretty much throughout the rest of the summer. So, starting off, we have a long put off sponsored episode in Twister. So, special shout out to our patron Sharon, who sent in Twister, and she sent an email, but I'm not gonna read it right now.
So next week's Twister.
Yeah,
Next will be Twister.
Sharon, we're too lazy to bring up your email, but we
No, I'm going to
thank
read
you.
the email at the beginning of the Twister episode, and
We very much appreciate your support.
definitely appreciate the support.
And we hope you enjoy the episode.
I just don't have I don't have Gmail open, and it's logged in on a different thing, and it's a whole schmageggy. So, that said, next episode is Twister.
Awesome.
So there you go. Cool. In the meantime, we want to thank you so very much for listening to our little podcast. If you like what you heard, please consider subscribing. For our episode archive, merchandise store, and more information, check out our website at 4ampodcast.podbean.com. You can contact us by following us on Twitter or Facebook at 4ampodcast, or you can email us at the4ampodcast@gmail.com. And of course, if you, like Sharon, want to be awesome and in our little hearts forever, you can support what we do by going to Patreon and becoming a member at patreon.com/4ampodcast. That's pretty much all we got.
All right, before we go, let's weigh in here
Oh
because
my
we've
goodness.
generated an impressive pile of candy.
Today we really have.
We've
Yeah.
been hitting it
We
hard.
have
Let's
wrecked.
see who got the most here. Because
Well, I don't think this is fair.
And
Yeah,
Will
that's
have
not-
added theirs together, so we have to divide that one by 2.
No, it was
Nope.
mostly Brian.
Did you throw any in my pile?
Like two.
I
thi-
saw him do
two
it.
two
Oh, I
things.
missed it.
Well,
Two items.
My wife also came by and got rid of Tony's pile because he was putting it over there on the side table.
Yeah,
All right, sorry, Tony, you got disqualified.
that's all right.
All right, mine's not as robust as I thought I'd eat.
At 10.
Oh wow,
I have 9 and like
half.
I ate maybe a quarter of a zebra.
Yeah,
So
we'll get-
gross.
I mean, I think honestly, you gotta lose like a point for the condition of that.
No.
because that's like a fat chat abort.
And now I have the 10 here, but I also had like 5 or 6.
Yeah, you had a
Yeah,
whole.
we got over here.
You had a
Brian's champion
king size Milky Way fudge bar.
Oh, and
Yeah.
I can't live with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brought his own candy because diabetes is he's just not enough.
But diabetes took a beating this week.
He's like nearly empty.
This is my cheat day. This is my day where I get fat. Like,
Yeah, diabetes has been overflowing for the past several weeks though, and like now it's just like done.
He is no longer an abundant cornucopia.
It is
now.
sad because I know it wasn't that long ago we hit up the discounted Easter candy, and I even helped out with it.
Yeah, that's
It's
all. It's
gone.
all in there. It's all.
It's good stuff.
It's all
I mean, it's
going.
a pile of Three Musketeers, Milky Ways, Kit Kats, and Twix. Like, it's not going to last
Oh
long.
yeah.
Yeah.
well, yeah, so that's fat chat for the moment.
Yeah, I'm glad we had that aside. I'm sorry I didn't have time to read your email, but
We counted those wrappers.
Yeah.
sure.
Priorities.
Oh my
Priorities,
goodness.
Sharon. You
Anyway.
understand.
This is what made her join it in the first place.
Yeah.
Catch you next week.
Well, we'll catch you when the episode releases.
Oh, okay. Deuces.
Bye.
Adios.
Good night, everybody.